Thanks for everybody that's joining us today. I'm Lisa Walker of Hyattsville Aging in Place. This is our first edition of Corridor Conversations for 2022, and we thought it would be important to try to get us into our New Year's resolutions and help support them. So we have Brooke Kidd of Joe's Movement Emporium and Creative Suitland joining us today. Corridor Conversations, for those who may not know, is an online series looking at people, the cultures, and the heritage that make up the Route 1 corridor. It was created by 4 villages or programs of the aging along the corridor, including Hyattsville Aging in Place, Helping Hands University Park, Neighbors Helping Neighbors College Park, and Explorations in Aging and College Park. We are very pleased. We actually have funding for this program from the Anacostia Trails Heritage Area, and a new funder, the City of Hyattsville, is funding us for the next 6 months. So that's great, and we're really happy to have the funding. In a minute, I'll introduce Brooke, but we've already said this, but we are recording, and Brooke would like you to keep your cameras on. If you feel really uncomfortable about having your pictures shown, then you should turn them off, but we prefer to have you leave them on. We're also going to have muted your microphones during the program. If you've got questions or if you want to ask for an adaptation, I think, Brooke, maybe raise your hand or put the hand up in the on the computer. We thought, as I said, we thought we'd start 2022 by giving our New Year's resolutions a little jump start. And who's better to do this than Brooke Kidd? She's the founder and director of World Arts Focus and Joe's Movement Emporium, and now has a second facility called Creative Suitland in Suitland, Maryland. Brooke's the leader of arts in our area. She was part of the team that created the Gateway Arts District and a creator of many programs that show the equalizing impact of dance and creativity. She currently teaches yoga and dance, and as you heard, she has right now some recovering mobility issues from hip surgery. So she will tell you about adaptations as we go along. She has an MA in dance education and a BA in international relations, both from AU. She has served on the Mount Rainier City Council and has received many awards as an arts advocate and a business leader. There's much more I could say, but I'm going to turn this over to Brooke. You take it away, and let's get our movement on.
All right. Thank you so much, Lisa, and everybody for having me today. I enjoyed one of the past conversations when Cheryl Harrington was instructing her Nantucket cake, which was great. So I'm really thrilled to start off the new year and sharing some movement. And I've been, the body is such an incredible partner in our journey through life. And I continue to keep learning about my body as the years roll by. And I just had a hip replacement surgery. So I'm almost 7 weeks after the procedure, and rebuilding my strength and endurance, and having to do a lot of adaptation in how I navigate anything from chores through moving through space to just trying to reclaim my regular yoga practice and be patient with myself. My physical therapist says, "Stop trying so hard." And I kind of approach a lot of things by trying really hard. And so I have to use more ease and more breath and fill the space differently within my body and bones. So I'm happy to kind of lead a practice today that will ease us into the new year. But I want to first ask you all, how would you like to move over these next few months? Or how would you like to move today? Are you recovering from anything? Are you thinking about some things in your body and your movement?
We've muted everybody so they can't really
Oh,
tell you directly.
oh.
Maybe we should unmute
Mm-hmm,
them immediately for a bit, Carter.
mm-hmm,
I would say that I had knee surgery at
mm-hmm,
the end of September,
mm-hmm,
and I'm also in a similar situation. I had limited movement. I was pretty active, but I had a limited movement
mm-hmm,
side to side in my left leg, my left knee.
mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to trying to start jogging again, which I know my doctor will go, "Oh my God,"
Yeah.
but I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the comments that are popping up in the chat is someone's looking for more flexibility as someone with fused back. There's also wanting to move with grace and strength.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah.
Working on
Um,
balance and relaxing when walking on ice and snow,
mm-hmm.
and moving
Good.
freely in this crazy world.
Wow. Wonderful. Those are excellent things to give me inspiration. So with your, what I'd like to offer today to spend these next 60 minutes or so in movement is to do a little bit of brain and somatic awareness warm up. And then do this fun connection where we play with our cameras and movement. And then do a little Qigong that has some cardio, because I've found a lot of ease in some Qigong exercises in this past couple weeks. A little bit of strength work, do some more Qigong, go back to sitting or being stationary for some stretching, end with some breath work and centering, and then have a little dialogue on what your experiences were. Does that sound like a good plan? Good. All right. So we're first just going to take a moment and look around your space. And I want your eye to find something and rest on something you feel is beautiful, that you see that's beautiful. It could be the way the daylight is on a lampshade. It could be the beadwork on a pillow. It could be your cat curled up on the couch. So just take a moment and see that beauty and breathe and let the brain see it and name it. And then look around at another spot of beauty, or maybe something that holds memories that you cherish. And breathe. Good. And one more. See if there's another object or pattern or light that just intrigues you, that you can let the eye behold, the brain notice. Good. And then lift your eyes to each other. I know you might only see me for the very moment. Maybe Carter, would you mind doing gallery view for a moment? And just look at each other. Maybe read the name, lean in a little, just really take one another in and just appreciate that we're gathering here today, taking the time for ourselves, for our bodies, just holding the space for one another. Good. And relax the gaze and sitting back a little bit and sit comfortably and just feel your sits bones and close your eyes. And we're going to stay on gallery view for one more moment if we could, Carter. And exhale, relax into your body and into this space. Good. And then bring your hands, just hold it and place them on the center of your chest, this heart area. Just feel the presence of your hands. Take a few luscious exhales. Just letting go of expectations or perfection. There's no need to do anything right. Just let your body explore, be with the movements, just trying things out. Then slowly opening the eyes and looking forward again. And let the hands come off your chest and shine them forward. And then bring them back to your chest. And now down to your lap, kind of grounding, just the hands on the thighs. And then we're going to repeat, hands to your chest, hands coming forward, and to your chest, and to your legs. Chest, forward, chest, and legs. Chest, forward, chest, and legs. I know it's like a adult version of patty cakes, but stay with me. Stay with me. Just trust the movement. Good. Being together. Good. I make my staff do this once in a while on our all staff meetings. Bring a little movement and connection in. Good. And now notice if you're moving with a rhythm in your breath. Good. Nice. Good. And just ending on your heart. Feeling your body. Again, just noticing the people we share this moment with, the feeling internally. Good. All right, good. Thank you. Good. And that's a somatic awareness exercise that I learned from Hyattsville acupuncturist Elaine Duncan, fondly known as Lainey. And somatics is just the awareness of body, breath, and experience. All right, so we're going to do a little bit more yoga in our chair. I'm just going to adjust out a little bit so I've got more of my body on the screen. Good. And if you'd like, you can do most of these standing if you want a little more space or just to be upright. All right, let's start by just moving our shoulders, lifting up and back and around. Good. And now we're going to slow that down with our breath. So you're going to do a half roll up with an inhale and a half roll back with an exhale. So and one more. Good. And just shake it out. Give it a little shimmy. Nice. Leaving one hand on the side of your chair or your thigh. You're going to lift an arm up and take a side stretch. And you can go as deep as you'd like. And breathing in, feeling the space opening between the ribs and the top of the hips. Good. And you're going to press your arm back a little bit and looking up, opening up across the chest muscles, a little bit under the armpit. And it's okay to wiggle the fingers or roll the wrists, whatever impulse comes to you. Good. And now you're going to look down and bring the arm forward a little bit. Think of opening the space under your scapula. If you feel pinchy, you might let the scapula lower into the back a little bit so that nothing feels strained. And then release the arm down, sitting up, and then squeeze your shoulder blades up to your ears and let them drop. Good. And one more time, squeeze your shoulder blades up and let them drop. And second side, taking a side stretch, reaching out. Good. Notice your shoulder blade in your back. I'm going to let mine sink down a little bit so I'm not creating any pressure around that area. And I'm keeping pretty shallow on this side because of my right hip. So you can too. You can always pull back towards center. And then looking up, press your arm back till you feel a stretch across the pectoralis muscles in the chest. Check in on your head. Can you dip your chin forward a teeny bit so nothing feels strain? And then looking forward, bringing the arm till you feel that shoulder blade lift up. Get a little press down in the shoulder blade. And a good exhale here. And releasing your hand down. Good. And roll them around. Good. All right, class. If you need to move forward in your chair so you can clasp your hands together behind you, lacing your fingers. And you're going to stretch your elbows and your wrists long and press the shoulder blades together behind you. And now forward bend a little bit. And as you do, press the back of your arms up. Oh, big exhale. And you're squeezing the scapula together over the spine behind you. Good. And release, coming down and lift the chest back up and roll the shoulders, one and then the other. Good. All right. Now lace your fingers together with the palms facing forward. Stretch your elbows out and lift your arms up. And once your arms are extended, lift your shoulder blades up. The feeling that your shoulders are on your earlobes. Really stretch. And one little muscle engagement is your armpits. Can you roll them towards your neck a little bit? Kind of a sense of engaging those. Good. Breathe here. Lengthen the elbows as much as you can. Lift the spine. Keep breathing. Stay with it. And exhale, releasing down. Good. And rolling again. Hopefully you felt that release a little bit up here in the trapezius and rhomboid muscles that get so sore from holding devices and being on the computer. Good. All right, we're going to do a little bit of work in our spine. So I'm just turning so you can see my spine. And if you've done yoga, this is kind of a seated cat-cow. And if you cup the ends of your knees, you can pull your ribs forward as you lift your chin up, arching the spine. And now curve and let your gaze be on your lap. You press your back towards the back of your chair. And now roll up from the pelvis, the belly, the heart, the neck. And we're going to roll down, initiating from the base of our spine, tailbone, lower back, middle back, and upper spine. And again, add your breath. Inhale, rolling from the base of your spine into that arch. And exhale, curving. Good. And again, inhale, rolling up. And exhale, rolling down. Good. And finish center. Nice. Good. Notice how you feel rolling through those vertebrae, touching all of your back muscles. Take a deep breath. All right. We're going to do a little bit more work on our neck. So we're going to just very gently turn our head side to side, but you're going to go slowly and see everything in your visual pathway, because our balance is off if we toss our head around. It can be fun to do, but today we're just going to slowly gaze out on a horizon line. Turning the head over the shoulder. looking from side to side. Good. And ending in the center. Good. And then a little ear to shoulder. Take a breath. And lifting up to the other side. Good. Good. And we're going to go back to the first side. And now we're going to raise an arm. Good. Actually, sorry, bring your head back to center. And now as you lower your arm, take the head towards the side of the shoulder and just radiate out your fingers, getting a great stretch from the back of the ear to the top of the shoulder. And coming center, and other side. Good. The head tips towards the shoulder, the arm lowers, and really let energy out your fingers. Breathe. Good. And release. Good. And if you'd like, take a couple rolls. Good. All right, last one. Hugging your arms around your body. Good. And then looking up and down. So we're combining some deep muscle stretches around the shoulders with these head movements, because the neck muscles are deeply connected to everything happening in our shoulders and our upper back, even our chest muscles. Good. Take this as long as you need to. And when you're satisfied, bringing the head center and release. Good. Nice. Okay, I'm just going to make adjustment. Good. However, how are we doing on hearing me and everything? You're okay? All right. Good. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of leg activation, and then we'll come up to standing. Good. So gently lift one heel up, keeping the foot flexed. Good. And coming down, and other side, extending, foot is flexed. Good. Right, now we're going to go back to the first side, extending. Good. And holding it up. Breathe. Feel the quadricep engaged. A little longer. Good. And now point your foot. Be mindful of your knee. If your knee feels pressure, take a little flexion in that knee. Good. And back to flex. Good. Quadricep is all juiced up. And release down. Good. Second side, extending out. Foot is flexed, quadricep engaged. While you're doing this, think of your posture here. You want a nice lift from your pelvic floor all the way up through the spine. Breathe. Good. Point your foot. Good. Quadriceps still engaged, but you're being mindful of your knee. And flex. And release. Good. You can do one at a time again, or if you'd like to do two, feel free. I'm going to hold on to the edge of my chair, or you could put your hands on your thighs. Good. Extending both legs up. Good. Starting with flexion. Good. And breathing. And pointing your toes. Good. Still lifting through the quads, lifting through the abdominals. And back to flexion. Good. Holding it. Breathe. And coming down. Good. All right. Go to the edge of your seat. Good. And you're going to extend one leg out. We're going to get a little bit of stretch to our glutes and our lower back and our hamstrings. So I'm going to do it all first on my right side, and I'm going to be take a small expression of this movement because I'm not compressing my hip too much. So I'm going to lean my spine forward, keeping my back long, and just extend my leg down until I go to the edge of my flexibility and that comfort in my hip, and breathe. It can be very small. Some of you might go very deep. Notice what feels good in your lower back, across the glutes and into the hamstring. Good. And inhale, lifting up, switching sides. Foot back on the floor, other leg extended. I'm on my heel. Inhale and exhale, sliding the legs down. Some of you might be able to touch the toe. Some of you might bend the elbow with touching the toe. Good. Just notice what feels right for your body. Make small adjustments till you find that aha spot. Good. Inhale and lifting up. And again on the first side. Find the pose, and then with an exhale, move into the stretch. I can go a little deeper on this side. And my hip feels better when I remember to lift up through my abs, so that I'm really extending my spine out of the pelvis and not letting the weight sink into that new joint. Good. And inhale, lifting up, and other side. And exhale into a reach. Good. Nice. And lift, coming up. Oh, I can't tell you enough how good it feels to stretch my hamstrings. For a month I didn't. It was driving me crazy. Good. All right, let's go ahead and come to standing. Good. And feel free to keep a chair right next to you. And actually there's a couple things. I have a extra stool, and there's a couple things where I want to have double support. Great. All right. All right, the first thing I want you to do to loosen up while we're standing is just bounce a little bit. Bounce and shake. Good. Can you shake out your quadriceps? Can you shake out your hips? Can you let the arms loosen up? The head bob. Good. Here, no one but myself can see you, so you can get a little silly. Good. If you're sitting, you can bounce something in your arms or your head. Good. Nice. All right. Good. All right. And then bringing your feet about hip width apart. Feeling grounded. Just notice the weight on your feet. Strength of your legs and your posture. Good. Nice. So this is a something I recently saw online. I'm going to try to do. They call it a Yin Massage. And let me see if I got it right. Okay. So we're going to inhale with our arms coming up and bring them to the back of our neck and stroking down across our chest, bringing the back of our hands together and then flattening the palms down the legs and going down as much as comfortable for you. Some of you might get your hands on the floor. Some of you want to stop at the thighs. And then bringing the hands around, coming back up. Good. And across the back, down the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves. Good. And then moving around to the front, the inside of the legs, spreading your hands out on your belly, coming up with the back of the wrists and to the neck. Good. And just cradling your neck and taking a breath. Nice. And letting the hands come down. Good. Let there be a teeny bit of flexion in your knees. We're going to warm up our legs. and just a nice march. And if you need support, your hands might touch your chair, a railing, or maybe you just got this freestanding. Good. On. Good. Easy marching. Good. All right, and coming into place. This was one of my early physical therapy exercises, and I was very surprised when I was first asked to do it. It was like within a week. Good. And then coming down and centering. And just inhale, lift your hands up to about your chest. And exhale, letting them come down to the hips. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Good. Next, we're going to have just a slightly wider stance if you'd like, and a bend in the knees that's comfortable and sustainable. And we're gonna just let our arms flop as we twist. Just a gentle, easy, and you can even let there be a little bit of a nice slap on your body. Make it comfortable, not painful. Good. We're doing a variety of, you can hold your gaze forward or you can let your head move with the twist. So these are all a bunch of Qigong warm-up exercises. And I've done them before, but I've renewed my familiarity with them. And this one is called knocking on the door of life. They all have such wonderful concepts behind them. Good. And slowly let the movement die out so that you just get shallow and then you settle to center. Again, taking a breath. Great. All right. The next one, we're going to just do a nice stretch with our breath. So we're going to go inhale, lifting up. Exhale, the arms come out and we forward bend as much as we'd like to. And inhale, lifting up. And exhale, center. Good. So it's inhale up. Exhale, forward bend, arms go out to the side. Inhale, reach, lifting yourself up. And exhale, center. Nice. Inhale up. Exhale, bending the knees, forward bend. And inhale, reaching up, extending. And exhale, center. You can bend your knees a little bit. And again, inhale up. Exhale, opening the arms out. I feel like I screwed that up, but I'm gonna just keep moving. And center. Good. And one more time. Inhale up. Exhale out and forward bend. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, extend, center. Nice. Good. All right, the next one looks a little more Tai Chi, which is kind of fun. And we're gonna take a bent knee stance, and we're gonna bring our arms up through the center and opening out. Good. And with the body extending up and bending the knees, coming down. Inhale up and exhale, bending. I found that this really warmed my quadriceps up in a nice, gentle way. So the legs are just softly extending and bending, and the arms are moving through the center and opening up. And you're just finding a rhythm of breath, movement. Good. Nice. Beautiful. And you can really go for some duration here. But also it's important to stop or make it smaller when your body tells you. And it's not always easy to know, when do I challenge myself and when do I say I've had enough? And it's a process that we learn and relearn and relearn. Good. All right. When you feel ready, come to stillness and just hold your space, center space. Good. Good. All right. Good. We'll do a couple strength exercises. Good. And the first one is kind of a little wider stance again. Then you're going to bend your knees and you're going to move your hips in a circle. Take it gentle. You're just thinking of drawing on the edge of a bowl with your hips. Your knees are bent. Good. This stretches all the soft tissue. Your head kind of stays center. You can take your spine with your roll, but that's a lot. I'm keeping my upper body center and doing a little more hula. Good. Circle the other direction. I'm going slow and careful. Notice the weight on your feet. Make sure your ankles and heels are okay. If you have any sort of bone spur or something that's happened to your feet, this might not be so great. Good. There's in dance, they call it around the world. Good. All right, my knees have had enough. So I'm going to come back to center and release. Good. Okay. Another one is leg swings. And we're going to start in parallel. So you're going to let your leg swing back and front. If you watch soccer, this is something that soccer folks do pretty regularly to warm up. And for a side view, I'm extending to the back and coming to the front. You can go as high as you'd like, whatever feels good, and as slow or fast as you'd like. Good. This is one little movement that if I do every morning before I'm getting around, it does so much for my hip to not get stiff and cranky. Good. When you're ready, move to the second side. This is where I needed the extra support because standing on my right leg is a new thing, just started this week. So I'm actually bending my knee more on this side to compensate. Yep. Hold your chest up. So you want your chest pretty upright, but the legs swinging. Good. Nice. All right. When you feel balanced, bringing the leg down. Good. All right. Another variation on that is swinging your leg across the front of you, kind of crossing and out to the side. Swinging in the front, out to the side. Good. So I'm crossing the midline and then I'm opening out to the side. Good. And nice. Coming back to center. Exhale, ground the feet, and second side. I'm gonna let you guys do it. So you're gonna cross and open, cross and open. Yep, I'm just observing. It's not something I can't easily do. Good. I guess I could take it super small. Yep. Well, if you are doing a movement where your leg lifts off and you are working on your strength, if the toe just touches the floor, half the weight is reduced. Any movement you can adapt and pull it towards center or make the range of motion smaller. Good. All right. When you feel good with that, release. Okay. This is something that Leslie knows very well from as a regular yoga student. And that's a chair pose in yoga to help our balance. So we have kind of a whole sequence that we do regularly in yoga. So we're gonna bend at our knees, sending our hips back, and our spine is long. The hands can be at your waist, at your heart, or extended out. So it's a squat, and the knees are over the ankles and the tail feathers are back. Good. And then we're gonna lift up and extend our arms and fully lengthen through the leg muscles and the spine. Exhale, coming back. Hips are back, spine is long. You don't want to curve your lower back, but you've got a long extended sit bone. Good. Breathing. Feel push pressure in your heel and toes. And inhale, lifting up, finding length. And one more time, extending out. Good. Good, find balance in the body. A lift in your abdominals helps to take the pressure off the back. Good, and lifting up, extend. Good. Now keep the body extended and let the hands come down. Find a spot to focus on with your eyes, and we're gonna lift and lower our heels. If you'd like, you can touch something, the wall, furniture. Good. Doesn't matter how high the heels lift, just feel the action. A lift in your abdominals, an engagement in the glutes, working through the quads. Good. Next time you lift your heels, see if you can hold yourself up. Pausing with your heels lifted. You might extend your arms to counterbalance and come back down, and see if you can go one more time, lifting your heels up, holding in releve. Good. And coming down. Nice. Good. All right, from here, we're going to practice tree pose. Good. So you're gonna lift one heel up. You can keep your toe on the floor, and then you're gonna turn that thigh out. Good. If you'd like to bring the toe off the floor, and you're familiar with this, go right into it. Bringing the leg to rest on the foot to rest on the inside of the standing leg. Yeah, find a way to express this pose that feels comfortable and useful in your body. Good. So I think my earbuds are picking up some frequency. If you hear that, good. Nice. Stay up as long as you can. And when you're ready, move to the other side with an awareness. Try not to drop your focus or drop the rhythm of your breath. Nice. Wonderful. And exhale, release, and coming back to center. Good. All right. Good. Loosen up a little bit. Good. All right, we're going to go back to a few Qigong exercises. And let's do a nice fun one here. So take a wide stance and bend your knees. This one is called clench the fist and glare fiercely. Gotta love it. Good. So you're going to punch on an exhale and inhale and pull the arm back in. So the action is a punch and my shoulders rolling inward just a little bit, and then opening up and coming in. But I'm going to add something. When you punch, you need to glare fiercely so that you punch and open your eyes wide and bring it back in. Other side. Exhale, punch and glare. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale. Yes, that's it. Nice. Alternating sides. Can you throw your punch with your exhale and feel that? As it empties your lungs. Don't forget the glare. If you've ever seen Indian dance, they use wonderful eye movements. They're so good on a neurological level. Good. And one more. Good. Cool. All right. Coming back to center and just gathering with our breath again. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale, center. Good. Coming back here, we did this. This was called fountain. So let's do this, and we're going to make a variation on it. Exhale, bending your knees. Inhale, lifting your arm up. And exhale. Good. Now we're going to do it one arm at a time, and the body's going to sway and do a very subtle figure 8 movement through the spine. So as one arm goes up, you kind of look, and then the other one. Good. And with the breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Be mindful of your knee and do less turning if it feels uncomfortable with a weight shift there. Good. Nice. The arm is about face to hip height, so not too far away. Good. Nice. Doing the fountain. Good, beautiful. This one is supposed to be really good with helping support our organs, our kidneys, our liver, our intestines. Nice. Good. And again, slowly let the movement dissipate and come to center. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale. Good. All right. Bringing the feet together, hip width apart. Good. So we're going to open our arms up and turn our head to one side. And then our arms roll back to center and to the other side. So we're doing a half look as our arms roll. Good. Think of your arms rolling out from deep within the shoulder and not just like the hands, because our arms start in the middle of our chest. Good. And stretch your eyes all the way out to the corner of your brow, looking behind you, and then back to center. Opening the arms, looking, and exhale. Good, keep going. Duration and repetition soothe the joints. Connect the soft tissue to them, just gently stimulating. Good. And resting center. Good. All right, that one, the name of that one is fun too. Wise Owl Glances Back. Good. All right, hold your thumbs out. Good, this is called the hookup. And you're gonna bring one thumb somewhere around your navel. Just feel around, feel where it place your thumb where it feels right. There. And then bring your other thumb to your forehead, that third eye space. Good. And breathe. Relax your shoulders. Have a little bit of pressure there. Just making sure our body zips up after that work. Just grounding at these acupressure points. Good. When you've had enough, release the arms down. Good. Nice. Good. Bring the legs together as close as you'd like. So I'm just going to give the name of this little movement to you and let you interpret it. Bamboo in the breeze. Yeah. Maybe it's a subtle breeze. Good. So you're actually shifting your weight on your feet. You can have your eyes open or closed. Just noticing the body, taking it subtle enough so the movement doesn't get trapped in the knees. Good. And good. And let your body come to stillness. Nice. Good. All right, we're going to return back to sitting. Take a moment and adjust. Good. All right. Let's do a little bit of a cool down, some restoration. Good. So let's start with taking a subtle twist, and you're going to reach around behind you, depending on what you're sitting on. Just find something to place your hand to have a little bit of weight, and then your other hand is on your leg or shin, and rotating in the spine as much as you'd like. The shoulders are relaxed. You're lifting up a little bit through the lower abdominals. Good. And let the gaze be out the corner of your eye. Can you relax your forehead, but look out the corner? And breathe. Slowly release. And turn to the other side. Let your hands be resting in a useful place. Just scan the spine and fluff up the vertebra a little bit. And rotate as deeply as you'd like. Relax your forehead and look out the corner of your eye. And release. Good. All right, coming forward, roll your shoulders. Good. And lift one leg up, bringing your hands across the top of your shin and putting a little bit of pressure of the muscles right under the knees. Good. And circle the ankles. Circling one way and circle the other direction. Good. And bring your nose towards your knee. Relax your shoulders, curve the spine. Take a breath. And release the leg down and lift up. Good. Second side, taking your hands across the top of the shin and circle the ankle. And circle the other direction. And curve the spine, bend the elbows, bring your nose towards your knee and breathe. And release. Good. Nice. Just take a moment and feel your sits bones and the spine lifting up. I'm just arriving into this moment to feel our breath. Just tracing the inhale and all its experience in your body and feeling the exhale. And again, just noticing the breath, feeling its quality. We'll just take a moment. We're gonna scan through our body and take releases while we breathe. So starting with our cheekbones and our eyes and our forehead, just breathe and release that area. Let go of anything held. And feel the top of your head, the back of your head and ears. Inhale and exhale, release. Feeling the mouth and throat, back of the neck. Moving into our shoulders, chest and upper back. Just visualize that space, breathing relief into it. Feeling the armpits and the shoulders and arms, elbows, wrists and fingers. Moving to an awareness of our spine, our whole torso, our organs. Just breathing in space, breathing in health. And exhale, comfort. Moving into your pelvis. And our hips. And moving into our legs. Breathe down the length of them. And exhale back up. And stay with the legs for another moment. And breathe a bubble around the whole body. Just a safe cocoon, a sparkle to our cells. And just relax your attention and be at ease. If we were laying down, we'd be in Shavasana and letting go. But even in this seated posture, just remind yourself that you are well, you are whole, you are okay in this moment. And if you even want to say it to yourself, I am well, I am whole, I am okay in this moment. Just hang out here for another moment. Good. And then slowly bring your eyes open again, an awareness of your space and your body in it. Good. And opening your hands and inhale and lifting up and feeling good in this body. Bringing your hands together and to your heart. Good. Thank you so much. Good. Good. Thank you for moving. Cool.
Thank you, Brooke. It
was
was
wonderful.
lovely. I wish I could have done more, but it was great. And you all should know, in case no one's mentioned it yet, Brooke has a regular yoga class Tuesday mornings starting up again soon, virtually.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Brooke has been my yoga teacher for almost 8 years now, and
Why?
she's fabulous.
Yeah.
So I want to ask how people feel. If you want to put it in the chat or speak it. And what did you like that we did? What was something that felt good?
She's a founder of Joe's.
And I lost it. Just 1 second here. Wait.
Me,
and Bear
all of
said,
it.
freely in the crazy world. Said something else. Great and at ease. Love the Qigong.
Oh, good.
Someone else said thank you, and that felt very good. And someone else said serene and comfortable.
And
Who am I missing here?
Just moving my body was such a blessing. I retired in 2020, and with COVID and missing class with you, I was a daily practitioner, and that's kind of, I've gone feral. So just to have movement again is I honestly had a lot of fear about my limitation of movement. Like, what can I actually do anymore?
Yeah.
So the less I move, the more fear I have about it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've had to battle a lot of fear of like, well, what if I can't externally rotate my right leg anymore? And it's probably the hardest thing that we face sometimes is the fear of our own body and the changes we go through. And we don't have enough companionship for these moments where we can support one another as we get through an injury or a life change. So I'm so glad to see you again, Teresa, and for you to offer up that comment. And
Somebody, let's see, Lisa Walker said she was relaxed. Joanne said she's shimmery. Jeannie said, I feel relaxed and I like the swinging arms and swaying bamboo.
Ah, good.
Loretta said it's all felt good. So flowing from one move to the next.
Good.
Well, I work out. I mean, I go to the gym a couple of times a week and work out, and I do a little yoga, but sometimes I don't stretch enough, and I have to do it almost every day to keep flexibility. So this felt really good, and some of the stretches and exercises were new, so I really liked them. I also really like punching. I've never done that before.
Yes. Yeah. Punching's amazing. And if you go a little longer to a point of muscle fatigue in your upper body, it's amazing. And the Qigong exercises just very gently move the joints, and that has felt better on my body than kind of some traditional stretching, because I'm negotiating my range of motion, and I get frustrated with what I used to do and what I can't do, and then I start to get in a weird headspace. And the Qigong has just been I've got less expectation, so I can approach it with a little more openness.
Loretta said once this is posted, she could see doing this daily.
Good.
And I felt too, because I couldn't really do the standing because of my space. So
great. And I'd love to follow up with some resources and share some YouTube links of some Qigong that a couple things I grafted.
Right.
And if you do that, can you hear me? If you do that, we can add it to the YouTube recording for this session, and so people can get that whole thing.
Yeah.
Right, Carter?
Brooke, that felt so good. And I just appreciate so much the balance aspect of it all, especially on, weeks like this where I walk out of my door and it's slippery. And while I'm still on the young side, I still have to, give myself a pause for a moment to make sure I'm going to, not land on my ass. So,
balance we have to support as our bodies change, and part of the balance comes from knowing, keeping our ankles and our feet supple, and keeping connected to the earth in that way. Like, how do we walk across it safely? And I'm a little nervous about the ice and snow right now, more than I've ever, it's a different relationship with it. I just go slow. I kind of slide.
I think in my recovery, the thing that I'm having the most difficulty with is balance. And so the balance exercises that I'm taking in PT, I just feel like a failure. I can't, I mean, I'm not, and I am improving, but it's difficult.
Yeah. And I mean, the repetition that's needed to get there, the brain will resist and be like, and especially now, because our brains are still so foggy from COVID and the amount of virtual activity we do. So it's, while it's nice to move in a virtual space, it's still, it's a hard processing that's more exhausting than doing it together. And then doing movement together is we lift one another up, because our bodies harmonize in a way, on a very subtle neurological way, and we can bring each other forward together when we're physically in the same space and connecting on rhythm. And we know so much more about the benefits of moving, singing together, playing instruments together, what the brain studies have shown, and the benefits. And one of the biggest benefits that's coming out in some of the research right now is completing the stress cycle, is that doing these activities help us let go of stress that was deeply held in our body. And that we have to return to do that, consciously quite often. And however you do it, gardening, walking, yoga, dancing, singing, pick your tools, do several, and we have to try to remember to do them and create a lifestyle of doing them. Yeah.
Can you tell us what you are doing at Joe's right now? Do you have many in person classes, or and do you have many virtual ones? I know you've got. We could go online and look at it, but
yeah. So we've got a variety of in-person and virtual. One of the tragedies of the past like 5 or 10 years in the marketplace has been that individual classes are very hard to sustain. So you kind of had the impact of yoga and gyms where people have, they could pick 4 or 5 classes between 5:30 and 8 o'clock and whatever half-hour increments at some places. So we have a lot of rehearsals. I don't know, not everybody knows that Joe's is a collective of performing artists that are rehearsing here and building their work. And then some of those artists teach their own material, such as the smooth and easy hand dance. So they run their own hand dance classes. It's on Joe's website, but we don't do it like a dance studio would offer, this, and this. So some of those activities are kind of have a niche audience for them. So right now we have 2 virtual classes, a gentle belly dance class on Thursdays at 11:30, and my yoga class, which will start up again January 18th, Tuesdays at 9 a.m. And then maybe Carter, you could put the website in the chat. Then we've got a lot of activities that are kind of virtual and nothing in person right now, but we have an outdoor stage, and we programmed from late April all the way to the end of October. And that was such a special moment for our performing artists. And we had a nice grant from the state that allowed us to pay artists to help them recover and to give them free rehearsal time. And there's just a lot of content on our website, and probably it's social media gives you lots of information. And then our second space, Creative Suitland, has an incredible writing to wellness program. And there's a lot of young folks that are coming to that, which is really exciting. It's very diverse. And the artist that's leading it, his name is C. Thomas. He's a poet. And so the writing to wellness work has been, it's hit the right spot for a virtual activity and to reflect on this era that we're in right now. So that's a robust amount of virtual programming. And I mean, today I have a staff of 21 trying to hold on. And so our arts education programs and our job training program kind of round out that activity. We had a couple months of in-person shows here in the theater. And then there'll be some virtual shows that are happening. One is really exciting. It's called Into the Woods, and it's by our aerial dance company, Upspring Dance, that rehearses here. And they actually filmed it to be virtual, so it's done very well. It's quite gorgeous. That's on our website. And then in February, 2 of the shows that were going to be in person, an African dance and drum and a African dance, song, and step group, Teratibu, will go virtual. Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know if there are any more, are there more questions or more comments on how we all feel and what we think we can do in our movement?
Well, whatever you remember, try to do 10 to 15 minutes of tomorrow. And if you can't remember anything, just noodle around online to access some content. And let your intuition guide you, because 10 or 15 minutes a couple times a week is better than one 60-minute class a week. So see what your what you can do, what habits you can develop, and move to what feels right.
And remind us of the of your yoga class again. It's Tuesday mornings at 9, starting on January
18th. Yeah, it's a gentle yoga class. We'll be virtual for a couple weeks. Hopefully we'll go back to hybrid, which we experimented with in the summer ish. And we'll probably keep that class hybrid because my mom likes to come and she lives in Indiana.
That's great. Okay, so I look forward to our putting this up online, and thank you, Brooke, very much for allowing us to do that, because I think there'll be additional people that want to see it.
Oh, sure.
And hopefully more of us will see you at your Tuesday class.
That'd be great. Good. Yeah.
In February 26th, we're doing a session on the Lakeland community in the history of the Lakeland community in College Park at 2 to 3:30, just like this, on a Saturday. And in March, we have a session on the poetry of the women's liberation movement that Deborah Rosenfeld is doing she's from the University of Maryland. I don't know if that was... yeah, so I hope people will join us. That is on March 26th, same time, 2 to 3:30. So thank you again, Brooke. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it too.